If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. Hello, Laos on the road, subscribers and followers. This campground that you see behind me was not here 10 or 15 years ago. But they have 8 camping pads here. I don't know if you can see that. It's really nice. There's a larger camping pad over there, an outhouse or a privy, nice parking lot for the privy for the disabled. What it was is they got some federal funding for these conservation areas here in Missouri. Conservation areas are were usually donated to the state. I don't know, in someone's will. Somebody had some property and they didn't have family or anything, so they gave it to the state, and the state turned it into a conservation area, and these are really good places for hunters. 10 or 15 years ago, they got some assistance from the federal government. I don't know if you can read this. Is that? Yeah, I guess you can read it. It says financial assistance for acquisition, development, and or management of this area and its facilities was provided by the Federal Aid and Wildlife Restoration Program administered by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services. Well, even back then, there was some discussion on how these would actually be maintained through, government administration changes and different things. And as I suspected, it's not overly maintained. Now, I am not here complaining about the maintenance of this campground. I am very grateful it is here. I have always appreciated the state of Missouri for providing these conservation areas. But the bathroom is not clean, has not been cleaned, and you can tell in years. Privy is full. No one's coming out to, suck it out. But the reasoning behind doing this was, and it worked, was it was supposed to increase revenue through hunting. Hunters were supposed to come out here, and hunting is every deer season is a several billion-dollar industry. People come out and they spend money to buy their gear, to go hunting. Well, all that tax revenue goes into the state. So these campgrounds were primarily built just for hunters. Of course, you can camp here all year, and there's no restrictions on who can camp here. It's actually kind of sad what's going on here. It's not that I'm disappointed that the state can't maintain it. I'm disappointed in how people treat it. Carolyn had to sweep out the bathroom. Absolutely terrible in there. She had to sweep it all out, get trash bags and put it all in trash bags. But instead of people, calling the conservation area and at least telling them the privy was full, they were just taking their bags of human waste and just dropping it over by the toilet. You can see somewhere right there, there's a fire ring. Out of the 8 campsites, there's 3 fire rings. Somebody stole the other 5 fire rings. At least in my opinion, part of the reason that they're not maintained is, the state does something, they take some money that they have, they provide us with these nice facilities, and then us goes around and tears them all up, steals from them. I remember when we were at Hawk Campground in Virginia, very nice campground, huge camping spots. You could back a semi into one of those things. They were huge. And then, so you have your semi sitting there, then you had a tent pad, barbecue pit, that was all laid out in gravel. It was awesome. But you could tell it wasn't maintained at all. Had the old style privies, not these concrete ones like you just saw, but the old wooden one. Again, not complaining. The signage around there was from the 1970s, give a hoot, don't pollute. Sign was still there, but very faded, had not been maintained. They're just not maintained anymore. There's no money to maintain them. Nobody seems to be interested in funding these programs anymore. National forest, conservation areas, which is interesting if you think about it. As more and more people are coming out here to live, being advertised by YouTube, obviously, some of the biggest YouTubes out there are Nomad. I mean, usually you have gaming channels, and then you have and then you have the political channels. Then you have the TV shows, and then you have Nomads. These are some of the biggest channels out there. Advertising, come on out here, live, it's wonderful, it's great, it's perfect, it's, you're going to have a great time. All the while, the government isn't funding these anymore. And the people don't want them funded because they want their monies going elsewhere. Again, I'm not suggesting the government change a thing. This is just the reality of what's going on. I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just saying these places are becoming in disrepair. And primarily because people are not taking care of them. People do not remove their trash from here. People are stealing the fire rings. People are coming in and just putting their bags of human waste in the privy. They're not doing anything to help these programs. They just tear them up and expect somebody else to take care of them. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, oh yeah, that's the new generation for you. Man, it's not just the new generation. I've seen plenty of the older generation doing the same thing. I think it's everybody. I think everybody has I think there's a lot of people that has an expectation that, well, I heard it down in Florida. Heard several people say, I pay for this. I expect them to take care of it. And so they would throw their trash out. Saw them just throwing it right out there. And I'd come out there and he said, oh, don't worry about it. They should come out here and clean it up. That's their job. Okay, well, also their job is to put out these forest fires that are going on right now. And a big amount of money is going into that. Just trying to save the trees is what they're trying to do right now. Your little piece of trash is not their big deal right now. They expect you to take care of it. They really do. And if you don't, then they're going to shut it down, which they are, so they can fight the forest fires. So your money is not being distributed, I guess, the way a lot of folks think that it should be distributed. So I guess the thinking is, well, let the forest burn down. They need to pick up my trash. The forest isn't going to be there so you can put a piece of trash on it, if that's the thinking. So I think we got to get our priorities straight, and that we have to take responsibility for ourselves. If you want a fire ring, then go buy one. You steal it, you know, not only you're committing a crime, you're hurting everybody, including yourself. But the next time you want to come hunting or camping, it's not, the campground's not going to be there. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.